All right, Shalom. I want to start out by giving all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Shema, Shai, by Shimmer Kakodash. Double honor to the apostle and elders, a great millstone. Shalom to the Akim out there pushing the word of sincerity and truth. And I just want to do a lesson on this shutdown and the more shutdowns that's coming. New Mexico, the governor of New Mexico shut down the grocery stores for 2 weeks, and it's published November 30th. And this should be a reflection and looked at as a reflection of the times that we're living in, and how much more hell is coming onto the shores of America, as well as these other countries, cities, and states. All right, because this global famine is going to hit. It's not just going to hit the United States of America. All right, it's going to hit other systems, and you're going to see governors, mayors, your leaders, prime ministers, presidents. They're going to start to, have to, resort to austerity measures. They're going to have to get more austere with the citizens, and the citizens are not going to like, the ways that, governors and things of that nature are, dealing with their states. And it's going to be all kind of clashes, man. That's why it's been a lot of protests this year. It's been a lot of riots. It's been a lot of burning down of different small businesses. It's been a lot of police that's been getting injured, on the line of duty, as well as police, actually, striking down protesters and things of that nature. Because this system is starting to be very, very irksome and bothersome to the common citizen, man. We're already in a global shutdown. You could do, a few things, but you're limited. You're more limited than ever. And, how are these people are going to react, here in New Mexico, as well as other states when, they can't go get their essential items, man. The food, the bread, the, paper towels, tissue, soap, diapers for their children, certain, products for like I said, their children and things of that nature, diapers, a lot of them use like Similac and Gerber and all these different products. The list goes on and on and on. Their essential produce, milk, the so-called chief things in life, they're going to go freaking berserk, as well as, pharmacy-based goods. Because, hell, the times that we're living in, you're going to start to see, pharmaceutical companies shut down. Different area, things that most people are dependent on, their medical dependency actually being stripped away from them. And read a little bit on it. It says a dozen grocery stores around the state have been forced to close for 2 weeks because of a public health order issued by Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham at a time when the state's residents are suffering from record high unemployment and food insecurity, critics says. Right, so they're already in a state of food insecurity. A lot of those individuals are missing meals. They're being malnourished. They're not able to actually feed themselves as they were pre-COVID. And on top of that, you're starting to see situations like this take place, where not only is it hard to actually generate a sustainable income, but the little bit of money that you do make, you can't even spend it on your essential items to take care of yourself to make it to the next day. So what's going to happen? These different individuals are going to look to move out of the cities, move out of the states. It's going to be it's already been a California exodus, a New York exodus, as well as other, individuals in states and cities looking to get the hell out of their states and move to, the border states, or, Georgia, certain other places in the South, different regions like that, because it's starting to become a, basically a thorn in their side to live in their cities. And these are individuals, when they were living in their, so-called heyday, they were living good. Even America back in the day, it was a time where you could actually get a paycheck, and $20 could stretch far. You could pay for gas, get an actual so-called buggy full of groceries, and you'll be good. And you could actually, like back in the day, you would have grocery runners, grocery boys, and grocery girls that would actually get the groceries for them, and they'll give them $20 and they'll actually have the bread, the essential items. You can actually look at the carts from back in the 1900s and show you how far $20 or $50 bill will take you, in comparison to now. $20 ain't gonna get you shit out of the grocery store, So here it is, these people, they're going through it. So it's continuing on. It says the order requires businesses with 4 more rapid responses of COVID-19 cases reported within a 14-day period to close for 2 weeks. Right. So when this vaccine actually takes place, you bet your ass that they're gonna actually mandate you having the actual vaccine in order to actually shop, buy or sell. That's the prophecy of Revelations 13 and 16. We're starting to see it take place before, a vaccine is even rolled out, them shutting down stores and stuff like that. And these different food chain industries actually speaking about how it's going to be a scarcity of products. It's starting to be hard to actually, receive their yields to feed the common man and the common woman. It's been a lot of jobs shut down, and then a lot of jobs have been furloughing their employees, as well as jobs have been cutting hours, in the food department industries as well as other industries, because they don't have enough. All right. And they'll never say, we ain't got enough food. No, that will actually scare the people. And you see what's been going on since, and Biden said it best that it's going to be a very, very dark winter. It's been a lot of people that's been rushing to these grocery stores to stockpile on water and stockpile on these goods and items. So, when situations like this takes place, they'll be ready for it. This isn't going to be the only shutdown. There's going to be many more shutdowns. So it says more than 25 essential businesses were shut down as of Monday afternoon. So it's more than 25 essential businesses. When the COVID-19 took place, that was one of the, what's the word I want to find? Basically, that was one of the ways people could actually stay afloat and actually work and actually move around when the shutdown was taking place. If you actually worked in the essential market, here, even in Georgia, they shut down and they were saying basically you can't be on the street. But if you actually worked the essential job and things of that nature for the government, then you were fine. But you're starting to see these essential based jobs actually shutting down them damn selves. So if these essential jobs shut down, and it's gonna get to the point where they're gonna be like, look, nobody should be on the street, period. And what are you gonna do when you're starving, when you don't actually have enough food in your fridge, and then the grocery stores that's in your radius are shut down. You don't have enough gas to get from one location to the next. And then you have your landlords actually ordering you to pay your rent on time, man. It's getting tight. And that's why you have to be in the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shah and trust and depend on the Lord for safety. Because a lot of people don't trust in the Lord. And a lot of people have been scoffing and mocking the words of the Lord. And now they're starting to see prophecy slapping them, in the back of the head. All right. Prophecy, the boot of prophecy kicking them in the ass. All right. So it says the closure includes 2 Walmarts in Albuquerque and 1 in Santa Fe and Albertson. In Roswell, a Smith's Food and Drug Center, which I was just now speaking about, pharmaceutical centers, Food and Drug Center in Albuquerque, and New Mexico Food Distribution Center in Albuquerque. The state's Environment Department has published a complete list of businesses that have been closed due to employees testing positive for COVID-19, as well as a watch list. In fact, about that watch list. Right. So here we go. It's going to get tight. The grips are going to get tighter and tighter and tighter. And you Americans stay distracted. You think everything is a game and everything is to shuckle and joke about, and actually, Jake wants to avoid hell and try to make it seem like things aren't as bad as it is, and make it seem like, oh, well, things are going to get better. Things are going to get better. Things are going to get better. No, things are going to get worse. And we have to prepare. All right. Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shah. This is only for the elect. This ain't talking about 2/3 of you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, that's, basically adverse to the words of the Lord. We could give a hell less about you. But it's the second Ezra 15 and 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell thereon, which the word woe means what? Destruction. For the sword, matter of fact, I'm gonna jump up to verse 12, because it's a lot of meat in here. It says, Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that the Most High shall bring upon it. In the modern day, Egypt is America, the house of bondage. We was in ancient Egypt, and then we started to see how during the captivity of Egypt, the Lord started to smite the resources, all right, of Egypt, the 10 plagues, and they basically didn't even have enough to actually even feed and sustain. It started to become a famine in Egypt, all right, and it's the same thing that's going on now. They that till the ground, which are the ones that work in the agricultural departments. I was actually watching something dealing with cattle, and they was basically speaking about how those different food industries are basically drying up, man. It's not as much farmers, man, dedicated farmers as it is now. And it's not easy to become a farmer. All right, you ain't gonna just say, well, you know what? I want to be a farmer and just actually leap into it. You know, they was basically speaking about, if you're actually in those industries, it's basically a generational industry. Your father and your father's fathers, basically built up and had these different inheritances and gave it unto you, and you became, over that industry, and then it went from there. But it was an individual that's been in that industry all his life, and he basically was saying that it's basically cursed. It's starting to become tougher and tougher in order to make a living, and he basically was looking to sell the last little bit that he actually had, and that was a lucrative company back in the day. So it says, they that till the ground shall mourn, for their seed shall fail through the blasting and hail and with the fearful consolation. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. Right, and that's riots, man. That's war. We seen this the execution of this scientist in Iran. That's leading towards war. We're seeing all these different Jake that's being killed. All right, we're seeing Jake starting to believe less and less in the government. More police brutality taking place. You're seeing on film each and every day, police beating the living shit out of you blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. And what? People are really looking at the cops as a threat. So when they're getting pulled over by the cops, they're reacting in a belligerent manner. They don't want to roll their windows down. They lock their doors. They don't want to actually comply. They don't want to pull out their ID, which is actually making these foolish cops, these stupid ass cops, more aggressive towards them. And then these people react off of a video recording, without really having the full facts. So that's actually, putting people at grips with arms. That's why a lot of people have been stockpiling on artillery, all right, ammunition for war, all right. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Right, and they shutting these stores down. But what about the people that's living there that don't have any different vehicles and cars, and it's hard for them to get to the other grocery store? They're gonna start raiding these stores, man. They're gonna be like, the hell with that. You think I'm not gonna eat? They're gonna start breaking into these stores, especially when these different protesters get up in the numbers of 200, 300, 900. They're going to just start busting in, ransacking, and taking all the goods that they want, like they were doing earlier this year. All right, they were going into Gucci. They were going into all these different car dealerships, and they were stealing what they want. Jewelry stores, and people were, putting, what's the word? They was basically barring up their stores for invasion. But we're going to start to see that a lot of invading. And if they can't get it from the grocery store, they're going to get it from their next door neighbor. That's why it's going to be a lot of robbings, man. It's going to be a lot of robberies, a lot of hijackings, a lot of killings. And if you're not in the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shah, you're going to be susceptible to be in touch, man. That's why we have to pray daily and pray that the Lord actually protect us from these days, man. Protect us in these days, because what? We're in the last days. Matter of fact, I'm going to end it with this Jeremiah 30. Because we're leading towards the time of Jacob's trouble, whether, these different so-called, Israelites, because they're really so-called Israelites, not fully Israelites, whether they believe it or not. Jeremiah 30:7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Right. So Jacob is going to go through a time of turmoil, man. Havoc, pandemonium. Where you going outside and you seeing people getting the living crap beat out of them. And people beating the shit out of others. Like the movie The Purge, man. And each and every decision you actually take is going to be, a matter of life and death. But we're not worried about those because what? We know what to trust in. Yahweh Hashem Shah. Scripture speak about how 1,000 are going to fall at thy left side and 10,000 at thy right, but it shall not come nigh thy dwelling. So trust in the Lord. All right? Depend on Yahweh Hashem Shah. And don't lean towards fear. All right? Scripture tells you that also. Because when you basically fear, you believe that the Lord is not going to support you in these times. The Lord is our support. He's our rock. He's our shepherd. He's our help. All right, so I want to end by giving all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Shema, Shabbat, Shema, Kakodash, the abundance of the apostle and others, great millstone. Shalom, Amaki.